think we always start with that. But listen, I'll give an update on the stadium construction and where we start, and then open up to questions. But I wanted to start before we go by talking a little bit about Monday night. Number one, the atmosphere was unbelievable. The fans showed up. It was a packed house. You've heard from our coaches, you've heard from our players that had an impact on the overall experience. And they've talked a lot about that over the past week. We have another game coming up here this Sunday. We want to create that exact home field advantage. And what was awesome about Monday night, too, is everybody stayed. Everybody stayed till the end. They saw an unbelievable finish. If you look at, I know many of you have seen the television ratings. The television ratings were through the roof. I think the stat I saw was the 6th best Monday night football game since 2006. So people all over the country are watching. People here are watching. And that's awesome. I'm sure you had a great time watching that game. But if you were here, I love seeing the videos the fans had posted of the atmosphere in the stands. I saw strangers hugging strangers, and I got beer spilled on me. I was out on the club patio, and I didn't care. It was awesome because people were just so excited about that moment, and it created a special opportunity for Jacksonville, and we really showed up and showed Jacksonville in a tremendous light across the country. And we want to make sure fans know we still do have tickets for Sunday, and we can provide that same atmosphere for everybody. Because again, the Jaguars don't play for another 5 weeks after this Sunday. So this is a send-off game for us. It's the last time to see this team perform here at EverBank Stadium for 5 weeks, and we really want to welcome everybody back. But I applaud the fans. I applaud our staff and everybody for creating that tremendous atmosphere. And it was just a great thing to see in person. From a stadium construction standpoint, too, our fans got to experience the future. They got to experience Grand Staircase 1 and what that was like for the first time, to see the evolution of what's happening. The best part of that staircase is when you get up top to the staircase and you see how wide the concourses are, because that's the expansion that you're going to see throughout the stadium here. So they were able to really get an understanding for what that looks like. And what does that mean for this upcoming game for Seattle? We've expanded that Gate 1. We've moved everything south. We've expanded that Gate 1 and created our second super gate. So we have Gate 4 and Gate 1 now, which are both super gates. And fans can enter either of those and go directly into the fan entertainment zone, where we have all the activities that take place and all of our sponsors and partners that are there. That wasn't the case the first couple games. You had a different route. You had to go through Gate 4 or Gate 7. So we've opened up a better access point for our fans. With that grand staircase, the ramps at Gate 1 will now be coming down. So for this game, they will be coming down. So from the main concourse level to the ground level, there will no longer be that ramp that you can use to egress as you're leaving the building or come on up through and into the building. So fans will choose to go up the stairs at Gate 1, or they will go into the south end zone where they can use the escalators to go up to the main concourse. One thing we experienced this past Monday is we had a lot of folks come in early to go to the fan entertainment zone, and they had East or West Club tickets. And getting to the East or West Club is a little different when you're in the fan entertainment zone. So you will have to go up to the main concourse and then go through the main concourse and up to the ramps to get to the lower club or the upper West or East Gallagher Club. So that's a little different here. We're seeing that fans have a little bit of a different path to go through there. The ramp will be accessible to go from the main concourse up. So you will be able to go up into the clubs and up into the upper level or back down. It'll just be from that main concourse level to the ground level that's different. You know, from that standpoint, we've talked a lot about that the in-bowl experience hasn't changed. That's not going to be any different here. You know, the ability once you get in and to move around through the stadium will still continue to be the main concourse. From an egress standpoint, we do encourage fans to use Gate 1 and 4 as much as possible, because that is the highest level of entry and exit points and the easiest way in and out. However, all 4 gates, as you have seen the last couple games, will be open for fans to enter and leave the stadium. So that's the main change that we'll experience here, is that south end zone experience with Gate 1, with the grand staircase, and with the ramps coming down. So for that, I can be free to take any questions as well.
The next 5 weeks with, Florida Georgia's still here, but how different will this one be from guess, week 11 when the team comes back?
Yeah, it's a great question as far as the work. Not only was last week busy with a Monday Night Football game, we had a Saturday concert, a Sunday football game, 2 All Elite Wrestling matches this past week. So really busy as far as the work that's going on from an entertainment standpoint that puts a pause on the construction. There will be a lot of work that's being done right now. It's still going to focus on a lot of the subsurface work and the canopy roof structure work, so it won't impact a lot of the experiential elements of the game. But for the construction crew to have 5 uninterrupted weeks of getting work done outside of getting prepared for Florida Georgia, as you mentioned, there will be a lot of work. So I anticipate before we come back that next game that we'll have to give another update as to what other changes you'll experience in the building.
We got some updated renderings last week. I know some folks have been doing some compare and contrast. And are there any drastic changes that have been updated in the design?
No, the most recent renderings are nothing more than an evolution from the last set of renderings we had back, I think, 23 and 24. There's not a lot of significant changes there. Some of the comparisons made were to some much older versions that weren't part of the current drawing package and things there too. So there's nothing significant that's changing in those documents, just slight evolutions to the actual project as you get in and start doing the work.
Hey, Chad, looking ahead to the next home game against Miami, Florida basketball, 8:30 that night. How in the loop are you guys about helping with that tip-off time?
Yeah, so number one, we work really closely with the city of Jacksonville and Legends Global, formerly ASM Global, on the scheduling of everything, understanding that there's potential for flex games and all the other things that happen, and most importantly, Ryan, the shared parking that exists throughout the stadium. So we're in sync with them on all of those events. Sometimes we move some parking around. As an example, staff parking for the Jaguars may move to a different place because they may use that for a basketball game or things there. And then if there is, in fact, flex games that happen throughout the year, then we know we have to work through the scheduling. But the Jaguars take priority on all those events as far as parking and making sure our guests are accommodated. And our partners at ASM, Legends Global, understand and work with us really closely on that.
Canopy shade being reduced at any point or at all from now to week 11?
I'm sorry, is the canopy shade being?
Reduced at all?
No, I'm not aware of the canopy shade being reduced in any way.
The fair, this is the last year, the fair will be here. How is that complicating that day? Because that's the last day of the fair.
Yeah, so this is the last year the fair will impact things, and we've dealt with that for the last 14 seasons that I've been here. The fair really impacts the people that park here in Lot P, and we've proactively reached out to those people, relocated their parking, provided make good incentives for them because of the inconvenience. All of our fans that do have a ticket do get complimentary access into the fair, so they can either go through or have access to the fair pre or post. So we do work really closely to make sure it minimally impacts the people, but it's really mainly from a parking standpoint. And then if you are parking in Lot Z or the garage is over here, walking through, making sure you're not prohibited from that space, and that's why we allow you the complimentary access.
What kind of uptick in single-game sales since Monday night's win?
Well, number one, let's go back to Monday night first. Coming off of San Francisco, going into Monday night, you heard a lot of talk about creating that advantage, and ticket sales were fantastic that entire week. We're starting to see the same thing here. They generally pick up on Thursday of the game week right now, so we anticipate our busiest days to be now through the weekend. But we have moved thousands of tickets just since Monday night's game. We do have tickets in every price category still. What you saw going into Monday Night Football is we ran out of the entry-level price points, and that's why we opened the standing room only seats early, so that fans still at least had an entry price point if they weren't looking at some of the midfield or lower level aspects right now. I don't anticipate going into standing room only for this upcoming game yet, but if we do have another couple good days, then we may turn and look to that. But it's been a busy couple days. And again, watching the content and watching people share and post about that experience right now and seeing, and I try to read every comment. And look at these, and just seeing everyone's responses and inviting friends out. And what's great to see is we have season ticket members calling to buy additionals. They're bringing people in with them. And those are the ones that are showing up every game, not reselling their tickets, making sure they're here supporting. So I'm pretty comfortable that they're bringing in great Jaguar fans with them as well.
What are you hoping that fans see by the time Week 11 comes by as far as construction goals go?
Again, as far as construction goes, they're not going to see a lot of different work being done outside of the subsurface work and the canopy structure work that's happening. They won't be doing any of the interior construction yet. That'll all start to happen immediately when the season ends. February of 2026, our staff will all leave the stadium and move across the street into the office tower. So that'll be February 2026. That then opens up all of the spaces in the stadium for them to start doing interior work. So that interior work won't start happening until next year, but it's very sequenced out. And immediately when the season's over, that's why we picked February. Hopefully that season goes longer than usual and we can move out, get in there and let them start doing that work. And then it'll be all, full go until 2028 when we get back into the stadium.
Involve cutting the locker rooms, weight room, and all that stuff too? You gotta move all that stuff out too, or no?
Locker rooms, weight rooms will stay. It will involve a lot of the meeting spaces, the Jaguars offices, and things that will turn into hospitality spaces for the stadium in the future. So what are those meeting rooms and post-game media rooms that you guys participate in after the game? Those will turn into club lounges. That'll be part of the sellable assets that we have for the stadium. So that work will all start. We'll keep the locker rooms and weight rooms so that we can still play that 2026 season in that limited capacity. And then as soon as that 2026 season ends, then that work will start there.
They will gut. That's what I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I meant 23.
Yes.
They will gut it.
We will, yeah, after we get finished playing the games here, while we're taking that season elsewhere, they'll do work on all that other space as well.
Monday was the biggest crowd that you've seen with all the construction going on. Did you have any complications, complaints, or did everything kind of run as smoothly as you've seen so far?
It was the biggest crowd since construction started, and it was one of the biggest crowds since Shad's owned the team, too. The only games that we had more people were the two playoff games, the Buffalo Bills in 2017, the LA Chargers in 2022, and the Tennessee Titans game that clinched the playoffs in 20. Those are the only three games that had a higher attendance than we saw Monday night. So that game performed really well. We have some work to do educating people on entering and leaving the building, making sure, number one, get here early. Most of the issues that I've been made aware of were folks arriving late, 8 o'clock time for an 8:15 kickoff. We didn't hear really anything for folks that arrived early. And then leaving the building, making sure they know that depending on where you're coming or going from, what's the best way to get in or out. So we'll have some people that we're adding as far as additional wayfinding, additional pacing for people to get on and off ramps and elevators and things like that exist so that we can get them out swiftly and safely. But overall, it was a great experience. And when you have a full building like that stays till the end and everyone leaves at the exact same time right after the final whistle, you're going to have some congestion issues. That's the nature of the beast for that. And I hope that continues to happen every game from here on out.
Is there like a timeline of when we might know if it's going to be Gainesville or Orlando?
Right now, what you're probably hearing or reading is that in December that the owners may look to approve. It could be before that as well. The league has all the information they need. They're going through their diligence with the ownership, and then, as you probably know, it takes an ownership vote to approve that. So we're hoping sooner than later, but we don't have a defined date on that yet. Good.
You reenact your reaction when Trevor slipped.
So I will tell you that this is the first game this year that I watched out with the fans. So I was out on the West Club patio, the lower West Club patio, so I was standing out there watching. And I'm pretty mellow usually, right? So he slips, I don't say much, he gets up, he scores. I just kind of looked sideways, and then some guy, I have no idea who, just grabbed me and hugged me.
You have a new friend.
No idea who. No idea who he is. And next thing you know, everyone around's high-fiving. And I saw a few of those videos of people when they posted it, like what their reaction, the people's reactions out there. I gave Tom McManus a bunch of grief on a video he posted of his daughter celebrating and everything. And those are the moments that are special that you just can't reenact. But you heard a gasp, right? Where I was, you guys, if you're in the press box, the windows may not have, but he slips and you heard this, like just a gasp of silence. And then 3 seconds later, the loudest scream you could ever imagine happening right at that moment. So it was so organic, but so energizing to see. And like I said just a second ago, I hope that we see that every game the rest of the way, that crowd's here till the end and celebrating.